anti-simp going. I mean, it's good to be a face fuck. At least if my wife is. Oh, I don't know how much I want my wife to sit on my face, but I definitely. And fucking. All right, so something to look forward to is wife oral sex. So it just, you could have your mother live at your house, but don't label her as a mother or authority. Label her as like a spiritual sister, and you guys could, she could help with the house chores and raising of your children. And so the emphasis here, guys, is on the celebrating vulva, and that's what life's about. And then once you have that premise, you can move forward with addressing what a simp is. So let's start with that. So a simp is basically a man who, in particular, who gives things but doesn't get reciprocated. So it's kind of this hope, and it's this weak, desperate hope of the man just letting the woman do what she wants, even though women really need male guidance and authority. And because women want men to take responsibility for the household, right? Like for the bills and for security and for managing the family. But with responsibility, you get. And when you don't have authority, fathers allow a woman to go to a school where she can be seduced and manipulated by men. Convoluted situation. So, and this is what simping is. Simping is where a man kind of is submissive to a woman and gives her stuff, but doesn't really get anything in return. And actually, I would suggest that women simp to men a lot by giving the men. Women are supposed to be responsible for sex. Like they're the ones, the gatekeepers of sex, just as men are the gatekeepers of relationship, or more specifically, proposal for marriage. But the reality is when people are not reciprocating, what ends up happening is it just creates a dysfunctional society where women are kind of getting resources off of a man they don't care about, and that's gotta feel uncomfortable because if they're really that attractive women, then hey, they should be able to attract a good, well-balanced husband who's got things together. So the opposite of a simp, I would like to suggest, is not like a good husband, but it's actually a pimp, because a pimp does the polar opposite. The pimp actually unfairly extracts money from the woman and is not submissive yet, and rather is dominant and assertive and authoritative over the woman. And so that's not good either, obviously. So where's the middle ground? Well, it starts with not wanting to be. It's like wanting the husband to play the masculine role and wanting the woman to play the feminine role, but just because they like the idea of it. It's not because they have to do that. They're not forcing each other to be a submissive, dominant relationship. It's what they're doing is they're letting each other be in truth. And the way you do that is simple. The way you avoid arguments and avoid divorce and all this suffering is by a technical assessment of your compatibility. And the way you do that is by, email dialogue and nude pictures to show to determine if you do have, because you should have physical attraction too, right? And so all of that, right? All of that, and then like just honest assessment. What that creates is a value. It creates a marriage based upon values, not based upon mutual physical attraction. With a lot of people that they're attractive and a decent person, but your spouse is going to be unique and specific to who you are, and that is, of course, if you've just found a way to love yourself and put what you want to do in life first, and then when you have the same values, regardless of who earns the money, regardless of who's maybe more masculine or more feminine, if it's a man or woman, whatever, you won't argue, because your relationship your marriage is based upon values that you share, core values. Okay, so, and that's the ideal. So a simp is not ideal, a pimp is not ideal, and it's just the same. It's not ideal to be sexual with someone, which is attaching, the process of attaching to someone, or they attaching to you, at least one of you, or if not both. That. Okay, here we go. You don't want that, but what's the alternative? And you want to be actually in love and actually operating off of that frequency, because you can't seduce someone and then also be approaching it with, I love myself and I want to have this person join me in the frequency of lovingness that I share with them. So, okay, so what that means is, even people who are only having sex and they're not married, I would say, you might say, well, it's not that bad, but it is prostitution. All it is prostitution of two people that it's like they're exchanging their body for each other's body. So the simp, right? We see this come up a lot in red pill conversations, like, oh, that guy's simping. His girlfriend he's buying her a bunch of stuff, but she's not fully committed. Now, what's confusing is all these relationships or situationships or girlfriend, boyfriend. Why would you be surprised if someone cheated on you if they're only girlfriend, boyfriend? Like, it's kind of written into the language itself, the words, like girl and friend. That's not consequential. That's not serious. And it also suggests that you're not committed to yourself either. Because if you're really serious about yourself, then you'd be serious about someone else and who you selectively invite into your life. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna keep this going. I'm gonna keep going, and we'll see what. Oh wow! Tech 1 is in play. So he went. Right. It's like, what does it mean to win? What does it mean to be successful with women? Is that it? The player, is that the opposite of the simp? That's actually not impressive either. The player, quote unquote, because he's neglecting his wife. He doesn't have a wife. Maybe he doesn't feel he's ready or worthy of a wife. Maybe he can't even control his libido, his sexual desires because he's not masturbating, so he gets seduced or seduces and essentially gets seduced by and giving all his attention to random women that he doesn't even care about. Like, how is that? They say that that's a man being successful with women. It's not. Man being successful with women is only a man being successful with one woman. Because you can only have sex with one woman at a time, and any woman that is okay with not having sex with you all the time is kind of a cowardly woman. You know, she's not passionate, she's not fierce. So as a courageous masculine man, why would you want a submissive, kind of weak woman, mentally weak woman, to be around you? Why would you want her to raise your children? Why would you want her to, be in your life, right? So this is what I mean by simp action. Like, it's time to go beyond the simp and into the higher realms, and it's time to go beyond the idea of that it's masculine to be a pimp or a player, and into the realms of a loving husband, into the realms of a loving wife, a place where people can actually trust each other, where a man is a man of principles, doesn't want to have sex with a woman unless they're married, and she is devoted to him and going to be a loyal wife. Well, I'm glad that I put this out there because I've been